For thousands of years, the story of the Trojan War has captivated the minds of storytellers, artists, and thinkers, weaving its way into the very fabric of Western culture. From Homer's epic poems to Hollywood blockbusters, the tale of Achilles, Hector, and the fall of Troy has become more than just a myth. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest values, struggles, and triumphs. But the Trojan War is just one of countless legendary battles from mythology that continue to shape how we see the world. These stories aren't just ancient tales of gods and heroes. They're timeless lessons about courage, strategy, and the complexities of the human condition. What can these battles teach us about ourselves? How have they influenced everything from literature to modern warfare? In this video, we'll journey through 50 epic battles from mythology, uncovering their lasting impact on art, culture, and the way we understand the world. Together, we'll explore the echoes of these ancient conflicts and discover why they still resonate with us today. Are you ready to dive into the heart of myth and uncover the secrets of these legendary struggles? Let's begin. The Trojan War stands as one of the most iconic clashes in mythology, a story where gods and mortals collide in a struggle that reshaped the ancient world. At its heart lies the abduction of Helen, often called the face that launched 1,000 ships. Her departure from Sparta with Paris, Prince of Troy, sparked a decade-long conflict that drew in heroes, kings, and even the gods themselves. But this wasn't just a battle over love or pride. It was a conflict where divine wills played as much a role as human ambition. The gods, far from being distant observers, were deeply entangled in the war. Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, stood firmly with the Greeks, offering her guidance and support to heroes like Odysseus. Apollo, on the other hand, favored the Trojans, raining arrows of plague upon the Greek army and protecting Hector, Troy's greatest warrior. Zeus, the king of the gods, often found himself torn, balancing his own desires with the pleas of other deities. This divine meddling turned the war into more than just a human struggle. It became a cosmic chess game with mortals as the pieces. Among those mortals, figures like Achilles and Hector rose to legendary status. Achilles, the nearly invincible Greek warrior, embodied both the glory and tragedy of war. His rage and eventual reconciliation with his own mortality became central themes in Homer's Iliad, a work that immortalized the conflict. Hector, the noble defender of Troy, represented honor and duty even in the face of certain doom. Their duel is one of the most poignant moments in the epic, a clash of ideals as much as weapons. And then there's Odysseus, whose cunning and resourcefulness would later become the stuff of legend in Homer's Odyssey. The Trojan War's influence stretches far beyond ancient texts. It has shaped art, literature, and even modern storytelling. From Virgil's Aeneid, which traces the founding of Rome back to the fall of Troy, to blockbuster films and novels that reimagine the tale, the war's legacy endures. Themes of fate, heroism, and the cost of conflict resonate as strongly today as they did thousands of years ago. The Trojan War isn't just a story, it's a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest struggles and aspirations. As we move forward, it's worth noting how the Trojan War set the stage for other legendary battles. Its blend of divine intervention, human ambition, and timeless themes became a blueprint for countless myths that followed. The echoes of Troy can be heard in the clashes that shaped cultures around the world, reminding us that these stories are more than mere entertainment. They are windows into the values and struggles of the societies that told them. At the heart of Hindu mythology lies the Mahabharata, an epic tale that transcends time and space, weaving together themes of duty, morality, and the complexities of human nature. This monumental war, fought between two branches of a royal family, the righteous Pandavas and the power-hungry Kauravas, is more than just a story of clashing armies. It's a profound exploration of life's greatest questions, set against the backdrop of a battlefield where gods and mortals walk side by side. One of the most striking aspects of the Mahabharata is its ability to blend the grandeur of divine intervention with the gritty realities of human ambition. The Pandavas, though virtuous, are far from perfect, and the Kauravas, though driven by greed, are not without their moments of humanity. This balance makes the epic relatable, as it mirrors the moral gray areas we all navigate in our own lives. At the center of this cosmic drama is Lord Krishna, who serves as both a guide and a charioteer to the warrior Arjuna. It's here, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that Krishna delivers the Bhagavad Gita, a spiritual discourse that has echoed through millennia, offering timeless wisdom on duty, righteousness, and the path to self-realization. The Mahabharata is also a showcase of mythical power, where divine weapons like the Brahmastra and celestial chariots play pivotal roles. These elements aren't just fantastical embellishments. They symbolize the immense responsibility that comes with power and the consequences of wielding it without wisdom. The war itself is a cautionary tale, reminding us that even the most righteous causes can lead to devastation when fueled by ego and unchecked ambition. Today, the Mahabharata remains a cornerstone of Indian culture, shaping everything from festivals and art to ethical debates and philosophical thought. Its stories are retold in countless forms, from classical theater to modern television series, proving that its lessons are as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago. The epic's enduring legacy lies in its ability to challenge us, to question our actions, our beliefs, and our place in the world. As we reflect on the Mahabharata, it's impossible not to notice how mythology often blurs the line between the divine and the mortal. Whether it's the gods intervening in human affairs or humans striving to achieve godlike feats, these stories remind us that the pursuit of greatness is never simple, and that the battles we fight, both literal and metaphorical, are as much about the choices we make as they are about the outcomes we seek. The Battle of Kurukshetra stands as one of the most profound and complex conflicts in mythological history, a cornerstone of the Mahabharata that has captivated minds for centuries. At its heart, this epic confrontation is far more than a clash of armies. It's a deeply philosophical exploration of Dharma, or duty, and Dharma, the path of unrighteousness. Picture this: two factions of a royal family, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, locked in a war that shakes the very foundations of morality. On one side, the Pandavas, guided by their unwavering commitment to Dharma, fight to uphold justice. On the other, the Kauravas, blinded by greed and ambition, spiral into adharma. But the battle isn't just external. It mirrors the internal struggles each of us faces, the choices between right and wrong, duty and desire, and the consequences that follow. One of the most striking aspects of Kurukshetra is its use of celestial weapons, tools of immense power wielded by legendary warriors like Arjuna and Bhishma. These weapons, gifted by gods and sages, symbolize the divine intervention in human affairs, yet they also highlight the devastating toll of war. Entire armies are obliterated in moments, and even the mightiest heroes fall, reminding us that no victory comes without loss. The tragedy of Kurukshetra lies not just in the bloodshed, but in the realization that even righteous battles carry a heavy price. Families are torn apart, friendships shattered, and the land itself is left scarred. It's a stark reminder that war, no matter how justified, is never without its horrors. Yet, the legacy of Kurukshetra extends far beyond the battlefield. In Indian culture, this battle has become a timeless metaphor for the human condition. Its themes resonate in art, where vivid depictions of the war adorn temple walls and scrolls, capturing the drama and moral complexity of the conflict. In theater, performances of the Mahabharata bring these stories to life, allowing audiences to grapple with the same questions of duty and morality that the characters faced. Even in religious practices, the lessons of Kurukshetra are woven into teachings about karma, righteousness, and the importance of making ethical choices, no matter how difficult. What makes this battle so enduring is its ability to blur the lines between heroism and tragedy. The Pandavas may emerge victorious, but their triumph is bittersweet, shadowed by the immense cost of their actions. Bhishma, the noble warrior bound by his oath, lies on a bed of arrows, a poignant symbol of sacrifice. Arjuna, the peerless archer, is haunted by the weight of his duty. These moments remind us that mythology doesn't offer easy answers. It forces us to confront the complexities of life, where even the noblest intentions can lead to sorrow. As we reflect on Kurukshetra, we begin to see how mythology often intertwines the glorious and the tragic, the heroic and the heartbreaking. It's a theme that echoes across countless stories, inviting us to ponder the delicate balance between our ideals and the realities we face. And as we move forward, we'll see how this interplay of light and shadow continues to shape the myths that define us. The Gigantomachy stands as one of the most monumental clashes in Greek mythology, a fierce and earth-shaking conflict between the Olympian gods and the giants. This epic battle wasn't just a fight for supremacy, it was a cosmic struggle that symbolized the very essence of order versus chaos. The origins of the Gigantomachy trace back to Gaia, the primordial earth goddess, who, angered by the god's defeat of her Titan children, summoned the giants to rise against Olympus. These towering beings, born of her wrath, were no ordinary foes. With their immense strength and near immortality, they posed a threat that even the gods could not ignore. To face this unprecedented challenge, the Olympians called upon every resource at their disposal, including the legendary weapons forged by Hephaestus, the god of craftsmanship. Zeus wielded his thunderbolts, Athena her shield and spear, and Poseidon his mighty trident. Even Heracles, the demigod son of Zeus, played a crucial role, as only a mortal's hand could deliver the final blow to these nearly invincible beings. The battle raged across the heavens and the earth, a spectacle of divine power and raw, elemental force. But the Gigantomachy wasn't just a tale of brute strength, it was deeply symbolic. The Olympian gods represented order, civilization, and the structured world, while the giants embodied chaos, the untamed forces of nature, and the primordial wildness that predated the gods' reign. This clash between order and chaos resonated deeply with the ancient Greeks, who saw it as a reflection of their own struggles to impose structure on a world that often seemed unpredictable and uncontrollable. The influence of the Gigantomachy extended far beyond myth. It became a central theme in Greek art and architecture, a vivid reminder of the gods' triumph over disorder. One of the most striking examples can be found on the friezes of the Parthenon, where scenes of the battle were intricately carved, immortalizing the gods' victory in stone. These depictions weren't just decorative, they served as a reminder to the people of Athens of the divine order that protected their city and civilization. This battle, like so many in mythology, transcends its immediate story. It speaks to a universal truth, the eternal struggle between order and chaos, a theme that echoes through countless cultures and eras. As we move forward, we'll see how other mythological battles continue to reflect this cosmic tension, shaping the way societies understand their place in the world and the forces that surround them. Long before the age of heroes and mortal kingdoms, the cosmos itself was a battlefield where the fate of the divine hung in the balance. This was the Titanomachy, a war so vast and legendary that it reshaped the very fabric of Greek mythology. For 10 grueling years, the Titans, led by the fearsome Cronus, clashed against the Olympian gods, a younger generation of deities determined to seize control of the cosmos. At the heart of this epic struggle stood Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, brothers united by a shared destiny to overthrow their father and his tyrannical rule. Zeus, the wielder of thunder and lightning, emerged as the leader, rallying his siblings to challenge the Titans. With cunning and raw power, he freed his brothers and sisters from Cronus's imprisonment, setting the stage for a war that would determine the future of the heavens and the earth. Poseidon, commanding the seas, and Hades, master of the underworld, brought their own immense strength to the battlefield, each playing a pivotal role in the downfall of the Titans. Together, they symbolized the rise of a new order, one that would come to define Greek mythology for centuries to come. The Titanomachy wasn't just a fight for dominance, it was a cosmic revolution. The victory of the Olympians marked the end of an ancient, chaotic era and the beginning of a structured, divine hierarchy. This monumental shift is vividly captured in Hesiod's Theogony, one of the earliest and most influential texts of Greek mythology. Hesiod's work immortalizes the Titanomachy as a turning point where the old ways of the Titans were cast aside and the Olympian gods ascended to their thrones, bringing order to the universe. But the impact of this myth extends far beyond the pages of ancient texts. The Titanomachy reflects a recurring theme in mythology, the triumph of a new order over the old. This idea resonates deeply with human history and culture, symbolizing the inevitability of change and the struggle for progress. It's a reminder that even the mightiest powers can be challenged, and that every era has its heroes who rise to shape the future. As we reflect on this legendary battle, it's impossible not to see its echoes in the stories that followed, stories of gods, heroes, and mortals who dared to challenge the status quo. The Titanomachy not only defined the Greek pantheon, but also left an indelible mark on how we understand the cycles of power and renewal in myth and beyond. And as we move forward, we'll explore how these themes continue to unfold in the tales of gods and mortals alike. The Battle of Thermopylae stands as one of history's most iconic moments, where fact and legend collide in a tale of unparalleled bravery. Picture this: a narrow mountain pass, 300 Spartan warriors led by King Leonidas, standing firm against the colossal Persian army. While the numbers may vary in historical accounts, the essence of the story remains unchanged, a small force defying impossible odds, embodying the spirit of resistance. It's a battle that transcends time, not just as a historical event, but as a mythic symbol of courage and sacrifice. At the heart of this legend is King Leonidas, a figure whose stoic leadership and unwavering resolve have inspired countless retellings. But the story begins even before the clash at Thermopylae. The Oracle of Delphi, a central figure in Greek mythology, played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative. When Leonidas sought guidance, the oracle's cryptic prophecy declared that either Sparta would fall or a king must die. This divine intervention added a layer of fate to the battle, framing it as a moment where human will and destiny intersected. It's this blend of history and myth that elevates Thermopylae from a military skirmish to a timeless legend. The battle's cultural impact is immense, resonating far beyond its historical setting. From ancient Greek poets to modern filmmakers, the story of the 300 Spartans has been retold and reimagined countless times. Each iteration, whether in literature, art, or cinema, reinforces the themes of heroism, sacrifice, and defiance. The image of a few standing against many has become a universal symbol of resistance, inspiring movements and individuals across centuries. It's a testament to how mythology can transform historical events into enduring legends, shaping the way we remember and interpret the past. As we reflect on Thermopylae, it's clear that this battle is more than just a historical footnote. It's a story that speaks to the human spirit. It reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, acts of courage and unity can leave an indelible mark on the world. And this is where mythology truly shines. It takes the raw material of history and weaves it into narratives that resonate across generations, reminding us of the power of storytelling to immortalize the extraordinary. The Ramayana, one of the most revered epics in Hindu mythology, tells the story of Prince Rama's quest to rescue his beloved wife, Sita, from the clutches of the demon king Ravana. At the heart of this epic lies the climactic Battle of Lanka, a monumental clash that symbolizes the eternal struggle between righteousness and evil. Rama, the embodiment of virtue and duty, faces off against Ravana, a powerful yet flawed ruler consumed by his own arrogance and desire. This battle isn't just a physical confrontation. It's a profound exploration of loyalty, honor, and the unwavering commitment to doing what's right, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Rama's journey to Lanka wouldn't have been possible without the help of his devoted allies, particularly Hanuman, the mighty monkey god. Hanuman's loyalty, strength, and ingenuity are legendary. He leaps across oceans, carries mountains, and even sets fire to Lanka with his burning tail. Alongside him, the monkey army, led by the valiant Sugriva, plays a crucial role in building the bridge to Lanka and standing by Rama's side in battle. Their unwavering support highlights the power of unity and the idea that no hero succeeds alone, a theme that resonates deeply across cultures. The Ramayana's influence extends far beyond the battlefield. Its timeless themes have inspired countless adaptations, from traditional dance dramas in Indonesia to intricate temple carvings in Cambodia and Thailand. The story of Rama's triumph over Ravana has become a cornerstone of moral and spiritual teachings, reminding us that good ultimately prevails even when the path is fraught with challenges. Across Southeast Asia, the Ramayana isn't just a tale. It's a living tradition woven into the fabric of art, religion, and daily life. This epic also reflects the universal archetype of the hero's journey, a narrative pattern found in myths and legends worldwide. Rama's exile, his trials, and his eventual victory mirror the struggles we all face in our own lives. It's a reminder that every challenge, no matter how daunting, is an opportunity to grow and emerge stronger. As we move forward, we'll see how this theme of the hero's journey continues to shape other legendary battles, each with its own unique lessons and cultural significance. The Battle of Badon stands as one of the most legendary conflicts in Arthurian mythology, a tale that blurs the line between history and myth. While historians debate its actual occurrence, often placing it around the late 5th or early 6th century, the story has become a cornerstone of King Arthur's legacy. It's said that during this battle, Arthur, wielding the mystical sword Excalibur, led his forces to a decisive victory against the invading Saxons. This triumph wasn't just a military achievement, it was a symbol of hope and unity for a fractured Britain. But what makes the Battle of Badon truly fascinating is how it evolved over time. Early accounts, like those from the monk guilders, barely mention Arthur, focusing instead on the broader struggle against Saxon invaders. Yet, as centuries passed, the story transformed. By the time Geoffrey of Monmouth penned his History of the Kings of Britain in the 12th century, Arthur had become the central hero, with Merlin's prophecies and Excalibur's divine power woven into the narrative. The battle was no longer just a historical event. It was a mythic moment, a testament to Arthur's destiny as a once and future king. This mythologizing of the Battle of Badon had a profound impact on medieval literature. It inspired countless tales of chivalry, heroism, and the quest for justice, shaping the Arthurian legends we know today. Even in modern times, the battle continues to resonate, appearing in books, films, and TV shows that reimagine Arthur's story for new audiences. The legend of Badon reminds us how mythology can take a grain of historical truth and turn it into a timeless tale of courage and leadership, and this isn't unique to Arthur. Throughout history, myth has a way of romanticizing figures and events, transforming them into symbols that speak to our deepest hopes and fears. It's a process that keeps these stories alive, ensuring they remain relevant across generations. The Battle of Camlan stands as one of the most poignant moments in Arthurian legend, marking the tragic end of King Arthur's reign and the dream of Camelot. This fateful clash, steeped in betrayal and sorrow, pits Arthur against his own nephew Mordred, a figure who embodies the ultimate act of disloyalty. The story goes that Mordred, fueled by ambition and resentment, seized the throne while Arthur was away, leading to a bitter and inevitable confrontation. The battle itself is shrouded in chaos, with both leaders delivering fatal blows to one another, symbolizing the collapse of a once glorious kingdom. At its heart, the Battle of Camlan is a tale of loyalty tested to its limits. Arthur's downfall is not just a physical defeat but a moral one, as the bonds of trust and kinship that held his kingdom together are shattered. The themes of destiny and the inescapable nature of fate also loom large here. Arthur's death, foretold by prophecy, underscores the idea that even the greatest leaders are not immune to the tides of fortune. This tragic end has resonated through centuries, becoming a cornerstone of Arthurian mythology and a powerful reminder of the fragility of power. Camlan's cultural impact is undeniable. From medieval texts like Sir Thomas Malory's La Morte d'Arthur to modern adaptations in film and literature, the battle has been reimagined countless times, each iteration adding new layers to its timeless narrative. In these retellings, Arthur's fall is often portrayed as a moment of profound loss, but also as a catalyst for reflection on leadership, loyalty, and the human condition. The story of Camlan continues to captivate audiences because it speaks to universal truths about the cost of ambition and the inevitability of change. As we reflect on the Battle of Camlan, it's impossible not to notice how mythology often explores the delicate balance of power. Even the mightiest rulers, like Arthur, are vulnerable to the forces of betrayal and fate. This theme of fragility carries over into countless other legends, reminding us that the stories we tell about power are often stories about its limits. And with that, we turn to another epic clash that further illustrates this idea, one where divine intervention and human ambition collide in a battle that reshaped the ancient world. The Isirvanir War stands as one of the most fascinating and foundational conflicts in Norse mythology, a divine battle that shaped the very fabric of the gods' world. Unlike the epic clashes of other mythologies, this war wasn't fought over land or treasure. It was a clash of divine ideologies. On one side were the Aesir, gods associated with power, warfare, and order, led by Odin, the All-Father. On the other were the Vanir, gods tied to fertility, nature, and prosperity, like Freya and Freyja. The war began not with a single act of betrayal or a stolen artifact, but with a deeper tension, a fundamental difference in how these two groups of gods viewed the world and their roles within it. The origins of the conflict are shrouded in mystery, but some myths suggest it started when the Vanir sent a powerful sorceress, Gulveig, to the realm of the Aesir. Her arrival sparked suspicion and hostility, leading to her torture and eventual death. This act of violence ignited a war that raged across the realms, neither side able to claim a decisive victory. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Instead of ending in destruction, the war concluded with a truce. Both sides agreed to exchange hostages as a gesture of peace. The Vanir sent their most revered figures, including Njord, Freya, and Freyja, to live among the Aesir, while the Aesir sent Honir and Mimir to the Vanir. This exchange wasn't just a diplomatic move, it symbolized the merging of their powers and the creation of a unified pantheon. The cultural impact of this war is profound. For the Norse people, it wasn't just a tale of divine conflict, It was a metaphor for the balance between opposing forces, order and chaos, nature and civilization, war and fertility. The Isirvanir War also reflects the Viking worldview, where alliances were often forged through negotiation and mutual respect rather than total conquest. This idea of unity through compromise became a recurring theme in Norse sagas and poetry, shaping how Vikings understood their own conflicts and relationships. As we move forward, it's worth noting how mythology often uses war not just as a source of destruction, but as a way to explain the origins of alliances and the blending of cultures. The Isirvanir War is a prime example of this, showing that even in the realm of the gods, conflict can lead to cooperation and growth. In the vast tapestry of mythological battles, few are as epic or as haunting as Ragnarok, the final, apocalyptic clash in Norse mythology. This isn't just a battle, it's the end of everything. The gods, the giants, and even the world itself are swept into a maelstrom of destruction. At the heart of this chaos stands Odin, the All-Father, leading the gods into their last stand. His wisdom and power, once unmatched, are put to the ultimate test as he faces Fenrir, the monstrous wolf destined to devour him. Meanwhile, Thor, the thunder god, confronts Jörmungandr, the world serpent, in a duel that ends in mutual destruction. And then there's Loki, the trickster, who breaks free from his chains to fight against the gods he once called family, only to meet his end at the hands of Heimdall, the watchman of the gods. But Ragnarok isn't just about destruction, it's about renewal. The battle, though devastating, clears the way for a new world to rise from the ashes. After the fires burn out and the seas recede, the earth becomes fertile once more, and a new generation of gods and humans emerges. This cyclical theme, destruction leading to rebirth, echoes throughout Norse mythology, reflecting a profound understanding of nature's rhythms and the inevitability of change. The cultural resonance of Ragnarok is undeniable. Its themes of ultimate conflict and renewal have inspired countless stories in modern media. From Marvel's Thor films to Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology, the imagery of gods and giants clashing in a world-ending battle continues to captivate audiences. Even video games like God of War draw heavily from these myths, reimagining the chaos and heroism of Ragnarok for a new generation. What's striking about Ragnarok and many other mythological end-time stories is how they reflect humanity's fascination with endings and beginnings. Whether it's the Norse vision of a fiery apocalypse or the Hindu concept of cosmic cycles, these myths remind us that endings are never truly final. They're just the start of something new. And as we delve deeper into the legendary battles of mythology, it's impossible not to see how these ancient stories continue to shape the way we think about our own world and its future. The Battle of Tuired stands as one of the most iconic clashes in Celtic mythology, a tale steeped in heroism, divine intervention, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. At its heart, this epic confrontation pits the Tuatha Danann, a race of godlike beings associated with skill and artistry, against the Fomorians, shadowy figures embodying chaos and destruction. But this isn't just a story of gods and monsters, it's a reflection of the human experience, where order and creativity triumph over disorder and despair. Central to this legendary battle is Lugh, a figure of extraordinary prowess and ingenuity. Known as Lugh of the Long Arm, he isn't just a warrior, he's a master of many crafts from poetry to smithing. His arrival among the Tuatha Danann marks a turning point, as he proves himself indispensable by outmatching every champion the Fomorians send against him. Lugh's leadership and resourcefulness become the driving force behind the Tuatha Danann's eventual victory, making him a symbol of unity and resilience. The battle itself is a dramatic spectacle filled with moments of divine magic and raw power. The Tuatha Danann wield enchanted weapons, while the Fomorians rely on brute strength and dark sorcery. Yet, it's not just the physical confrontation that captivates, it's the underlying themes. The Battle of Tuired represents the triumph of light over darkness, of civilization over chaos, echoing the universal human desire to overcome adversity and create a better world. This myth has left an indelible mark on Irish folklore, shaping the way stories are told and heroes are remembered. Lug's legacy, in particular, endures as a reminder that true strength lies not just in physical might but in wisdom, creativity, and the ability to bring people together. The tale of Tuired continues to resonate because it speaks to something timeless, the enduring struggle to bring order to a world often threatened by chaos. As we reflect on this legendary battle, it's worth considering how mythology often mirrors our own lives. The tension between order and chaos, light and darkness, is a recurring theme across cultures, reminding us that these struggles are as much a part of the human condition as they are of the gods. And with that in mind, let's turn our attention to another myth where these themes take center stage, revealing how different cultures grapple with the same fundamental questions. The Battle of Klontarf, fought on April 23, 1014, is one of those rare moments where history and myth blur into a single, powerful narrative. While it was a real, bloody conflict between Irish forces led by King Brian Boru and a coalition of Viking invaders and Irish rebels, over time, it became something much larger in the Irish imagination. Brian Boru, the High King of Ireland, is often depicted as a near-mythic figure, a unifier who sought to bring the fractured kingdoms of Ireland together against a common enemy. His death at the end of the battle, despite the Irish victory, only added to his legendary status, turning him into a symbol of sacrifice and national resilience. But what makes the Battle of Klontarf so fascinating is how it transcends its historical roots. In Irish folklore, it's not just a battle, it's a story of unity and resistance, a tale of a people standing together against overwhelming odds. The Vikings, who had been a dominant force in Ireland for centuries, were seen as both a literal and symbolic threat to Irish identity. By defeating them, Brian Boru and his forces weren't just winning a military victory, they were safeguarding the soul of their culture. This idea of protecting one's heritage in the face of external forces has resonated deeply in Irish literature and art, where the battle is often portrayed as a turning point in the nation's history. The cultural impact of Klontarf is still felt today. It's a story that has been retold countless times, from medieval chronicles to modern novels and films. Each retelling adds new layers to the myth, shaping how the Irish see themselves and their past. The themes of unity and resistance, so central to the story, continue to inspire, reminding people of the power of coming together for a common cause. And yet, it's important to remember that the battle's mythologized version often overshadows its historical complexities. The real Brian Boru, for example, was as much a political strategist as he was a warrior, and the battle itself was as much about internal Irish rivalries as it was about external threats. This interplay between myth and history is something we see time and again in the stories nations tell about themselves. Mythology doesn't just reflect history, it shapes it, embedding deeper meanings into events that might otherwise be forgotten. As we move to the next chapter of our journey, we'll explore how this blending of myth and national pride continues to influence cultures around the world, reminding us that the battles we remember are often as much about the stories we tell as the events themselves. The Theomachy, or the Battle of the Gods, is one of the most electrifying moments in Homer's Iliad. As the Trojan War rages on the mortal plane, the gods themselves descend into chaos, choosing sides and intervening in the conflict with all the fervor of human warriors. Zeus, the king of the gods, strives to maintain a semblance of neutrality, but even he struggles to keep the divine factions in check. Aphrodite, Apollo, and Ares rally behind Troy, while Hera, Athena, and Poseidon lend their support to the Greeks. These divine allegiances aren't just acts of favoritism. They're reflections of the gods' own passions, rivalries, and grudges, mirroring the very human emotions driving the war below. What's fascinating about the Theomachy is how it blurs the line between the divine and the mortal. The gods don't just observe from afar, they dive headfirst into the fray, their interventions often tipping the scales of battle. Apollo shields Hector, Athena inspires Diomedes, and Ares himself charges into combat, only to be wounded by a mortal spear. These moments underscore a recurring theme in Greek mythology. The gods are not aloof, omnipotent beings, but deeply flawed, emotional entities, as prone to jealousy, anger, and ambition as the humans they oversee. This divine chaos isn't just entertaining. It's a commentary on the nature of power, conflict, and the unpredictable forces that shape human destiny. The cultural impact of the Theomachy is profound. It wasn't just a story, it was a way for ancient Greeks to make sense of the world around them. The gods' involvement in the Trojan War served as a metaphor for the unseen forces, fate, luck, and even human emotion that influenced the course of history. Artists and poets throughout the centuries have been captivated by this divine clash, immortalizing it in sculptures, paintings, and epic verse. The Theomachy reminds us that mythology isn't just about gods and heroes. It's a reflection of humanity itself, a mirror held up to our own desires, fears, and struggles. This interplay between the divine and the human is a recurring thread in myths across cultures. Whether it's the gods of Olympus or the deities of other traditions, these stories remind us that even the most powerful beings are shaped by the same emotions that drive us. And as we move forward, we'll see how mythology continues to explore these themes, using battles and conflicts to reveal deeper truths about the human experience. The Battle of Marathon is one of those rare moments where history and legend intertwine so tightly that they become inseparable. In the year 490 BCE, the Athenian army faced off against the vastly larger Persian forces on the plains of Marathon. Outnumbered and outmatched, the Athenians achieved a stunning victory, a triumph that would echo through the ages. But what makes this battle truly unforgettable isn't just the military strategy or the bravery of the soldiers. It's the story that grew out of it, a tale that has inspired generations. At the heart of this legend is Pheidippides, a messenger whose name has become synonymous with endurance. According to the story, after the battle, Pheidippides ran from Marathon to Athens, a distance of about 26 miles, to deliver the news of the Athenian victory. Exhausted and breathless, he reportedly collapsed and died after delivering his message. While historians debate the accuracy of this account, the myth of Pheidippides has endured, becoming a symbol of human determination and sacrifice. This legend didn't just stay confined to ancient Greek culture. It laid the foundation for one of the most iconic athletic events in the modern world, the marathon race. When the modern Olympics were revived in 1896, the organizers drew inspiration from this ancient tale, creating a race that would commemorate Pheidippides' legendary run. Today, marathons are held around the globe, a testament to the enduring power of this story. The marathon isn't just a test of physical endurance, it's a celebration of the human spirit's ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. The Battle of Marathon and the myth of Pheidippides remind us that mythology often serves as a mirror, reflecting and immortalizing the extraordinary achievements of ordinary people. These stories aren't just about gods and monsters, they're about us, our struggles, our triumphs, and the lengths we'll go to preserve what we hold dear. And as we move forward, we'll see how other battles, equally steeped in legend, have shaped cultures and inspired countless generations. The Battle of Actium stands as one of history's most dramatic turning points, a clash where ambition, love, and betrayal collided on the open sea. It was the year 31 BC, and the Mediterranean was the stage for a naval showdown that would reshape the Roman world. On one side, Mark Antony, the charismatic general, and Cleopatra, the enigmatic queen of Egypt, stood united not just by strategy but by a bond that would become legendary. On the other, Octavian, later known as Augustus, the cunning and calculating heir to Julius Caesar, who sought to consolidate Rome's power under his sole rule. The stakes were nothing less than the fate of an empire. This battle wasn't just about military might, it was deeply personal. Antony and Cleopatra's alliance had become a symbol of defiance against Rome's traditional values, and their relationship was as much a weapon as their ships. But their forces, though formidable, were no match for Octavian's disciplined navy, led by the brilliant Admiral Agrippa. The battle itself was chaotic, with Cleopatra's fleet attempting a retreat that left Antony's forces vulnerable. In the end, their dreams of a shared empire crumbled, and both would meet tragic fates shortly after. What makes Actium so captivating is how it transcended history to become myth. The tale of Cleopatra and Antony has been immortalized in countless works of literature, from Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra to modern retellings in film and theater. Their story embodies timeless themes: love that defies reason, ambition that leads to ruin, and betrayal that seals destiny. It's a narrative that blurs the line between history and legend, reminding us how often mythology romanticizes figures, turning their flaws and failures into something tragic and beautiful. This battle also marked the end of the Roman Republic and the dawn of the Roman Empire under Octavian, who would go on to rule as Augustus. But beyond its political consequences, Actium left an indelible mark on culture, inspiring artists and writers for centuries. It's a testament to how history and myth intertwine, shaping how we remember the past and the people who shaped it. And as we move forward, we'll see how this interplay between fact and fiction continues to influence the stories we tell about other legendary battles and their enduring legacies. In the misty hills of ancient Wales, where the line between the natural world and the mystical realm was often blurred, one of the most enchanting battles in mythology unfolded: the Battle of the Trees. This magical conflict, known as Cad Godu in Welsh, is a tale where the forest itself rises to fight, and the forces of nature become warriors. At the heart of this story is the legendary bard Taliesin, a figure of immense wisdom and magical prowess, who played a pivotal role in turning the tide of this extraordinary battle. The Battle of the Trees begins with a struggle between two powerful forces: Aron, the ruler of the otherworld, and the forces of mortal kings. When Aron's armies prove too formidable, the bard Taliesin steps in, weaving a spell so potent that it brings the trees themselves to life. Oaks, willows, and hazels are transformed into fierce warriors, their branches becoming weapons and their roots anchoring them in the fight. The battlefield becomes a living forest, a surreal and awe-inspiring sight that blurs the boundaries between nature and the supernatural. This tale isn't just a story of conflict, it's a celebration of the deep connection between the Welsh people and their natural surroundings. The trees, often seen as symbols of strength and endurance, become allies in a fight for survival. And Taliesin, the bard, embodies the power of creativity and knowledge, showing how art and magic can influence even the most dire of circumstances. The Battle of the Trees is a reminder that in Welsh mythology, the natural world is never just a backdrop. It's an active, living participant in the stories of gods, heroes, and mortals. This myth has left a lasting imprint on Welsh folklore, inspiring countless tales where nature and magic intertwine. It's a reflection of how ancient cultures saw themselves as part of the natural world, not separate from it. The themes of transformation and the sacredness of nature resonate even today, reminding us of the timeless bond between humanity and the environment. As we step away from the enchanted forests of Wales, it's worth reflecting on how myths like this one often blur the lines between the natural and the supernatural. These stories invite us to see the world through a different lens, where every tree, every stream, and every gust of wind holds a story waiting to be told. And with that, we move to another legendary tale where the stakes are just as high and the magic just as powerful. From the thunderous clashes of gods and giants, we now journey to the Emerald Hills of Ireland, where the Battle of Moitura unfolds as a cosmic struggle that shaped the very soul of Irish mythology. This legendary confrontation pits the Tuatha De Danann, a race of divine beings gifted with extraordinary powers, against the Fir Bolg, the original inhabitants of Ireland, in a fight for sovereignty and the divine right to rule. At its heart, the Battle of Moitura is more than just a tale of warfare. It's a profound exploration of legitimacy and the sacred connection between rulers and the land they govern. The Tuatha De Danann, often seen as the rightful heirs to Ireland, bring with them an aura of otherworldly authority. Their victory isn't just a military triumph, it's a symbolic affirmation of their destiny to lead. Meanwhile, the Fir Bolg, though defeated, earn respect for their valor and honor, adding layers of complexity to the narrative. This battle resonates deeply in Irish culture, echoing themes of identity, heritage, and the mystical bond between people and their homeland. Ancient texts like the Liber Gabála Érenn or the Book of Invasions immortalize this conflict, weaving it into the tapestry of Ireland's mythological history. These stories don't just entertain, they serve as a mirror, reflecting the values and struggles of a people who saw their land as sacred and their rulers as divinely chosen. The Battle of Moitura also reveals how mythology often grapples with the origins of power. Who has the right to rule? What makes a leader legitimate? These questions ripple through countless myths, reminding us that the struggle for authority is as old as humanity itself. As we reflect on this legendary clash, it's impossible not to see its echoes in the way we still think about leadership and belonging today. Power, after all, is not just about strength, it's about stories, symbols, and the belief that some rulers are touched by something greater. And with that, we step into the next chapter, where mythology continues to explore the timeless question of where power truly comes from. The Battle of the Alans stands as one of the most stirring tales of heroism in Persian mythology, immortalized in the epic Shahnameh, or the Book of Kings. At the heart of this legendary conflict is Rostam, a figure whose name echoes through Persian culture as the ultimate symbol of strength, courage, and unwavering loyalty. In this tale, Rostam faces the formidable Alans, a fierce warrior tribe, in a battle that tests not just his physical prowess but also his moral resolve. What makes this story so compelling is the way it intertwines personal sacrifice with larger themes of duty. Rostam's journey to confront the Alans isn't just about defeating an enemy, it's about upholding his honor and protecting his people. His feats of bravery, like single-handedly fighting off countless warriors, are legendary, but it's his sense of integrity that truly sets him apart. Even when faced with overwhelming odds, Rostam remains steadfast, embodying the ideals of heroism that resonate deeply within Persian culture. The cultural impact of this battle is profound. The Shahnameh has been a cornerstone of Persian literature for centuries, and Rostam's story continues to inspire art, poetry, and even modern storytelling. His character represents more than just physical strength. He's a symbol of moral fortitude, reminding us that true heroism lies in standing up for what is right, no matter the cost. Themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the struggle between good and evil are woven throughout the narrative, reflecting universal values that transcend time and place. As we reflect on Rostam's legacy, it's worth considering how mythology often celebrates the individual hero, someone who rises above adversity to protect and inspire others. These stories remind us of the power of courage and the enduring impact of those who embody it. And as we move forward, we'll see how these themes of heroism echo in other legendary battles, shaping cultures and leaving a lasting mark on the world. As we move forward in our exploration of legendary battles, we arrive at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, a clash that blurs the line between history and myth. This epic confrontation, fought in the year 451, is often remembered as one of the defining moments in the struggle between the Roman Empire and the invading forces of Attila the Hun. But what makes this battle so fascinating is how it was later transformed in the medieval imagination, becoming a symbol of the timeless conflict between barbarism and civilization. Attila the Hun, often called the Scourge of God, looms large in this narrative. His ferocious reputation as a leader who struck fear into the hearts of empires made him a perfect figure for myth-making. In historical accounts, the battle was a brutal, hard-fought encounter between Attila's forces and a coalition of Roman and Visigothic troops led by Flavius Aetius. The outcome was inconclusive, but the sheer scale of the conflict and the stakes involved, nothing less than the fate of Western Europe, captured the imagination of later generations. Medieval poets and storytellers took this historical event and elevated it to the realm of legend. In their retellings, the Battle of the Catalonian Plains became a cosmic struggle, a clash not just of armies but of ideals. Attila was recast as a larger-than-life villain, embodying chaos and destruction, while the defenders of Rome were portrayed as champions of order and culture. This mythologized version of the battle found its way into epic poems and folklore, where it served as a cautionary tale about the fragility of civilization in the face of barbarian threats. The cultural impact of this reinterpretation was profound. Across medieval Europe, the story of the Catalonian Plains became a touchstone for exploring themes of identity, morality, and the tension between the civilized world and the untamed frontier. It inspired countless works of art, literature, and even religious sermons, shaping how people understood their own history and place in the world. What's particularly striking about this battle is how it demonstrates the power of mythology to reshape history. Over time, the real events faded into the background, while the symbolic struggle between barbarism and civilization took center stage. This transformation reminds us that myths are not just stories. They are tools we use to make sense of the past, to grapple with our fears, and to define what it means to be human. As we reflect on the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, we're reminded that history and myth are often intertwined, each influencing the other in ways that resonate across centuries. This interplay between fact and fiction is a recurring theme in the stories we tell about the past, and it sets the stage for our next exploration: how mythology continues to reinterpret historical events, weaving them into the fabric of our collective imagination. The world of Aztec mythology is a tapestry of cosmic forces, where gods and mortals alike are swept up in the eternal struggle between creation and destruction. At the heart of this narrative lies the Battle of the Gods, a monumental clash between two of the most powerful deities, Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent representing wisdom and creation, and Tezcatlipoca, the enigmatic god of night, sorcery, and chaos. This battle wasn't just a fight between two divine beings. It was a collision of opposing forces that shaped the very fabric of the Aztec cosmos. According to legend, Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca were once brothers who worked together to create the world. But their partnership was fraught with tension as their conflicting natures, order versus chaos, light versus shadow, inevitably led to conflict. In one pivotal moment, Tezcatlipoca tricked Quetzalcoatl into committing an act of shame, leading to his exile. This betrayal set the stage for their cosmic war, a struggle that symbolized the Aztec belief in the cyclical nature of existence, that creation and destruction are two sides of the same coin, forever intertwined. The themes of this battle resonate deeply within Aztec culture. For the Aztecs, the world was not a static place but a dynamic, ever-changing entity shaped by the actions of the gods. The Battle of the Gods wasn't just a story, it was a reflection of their reality where life and death, growth and decay were constant companions. This world view influenced everything from their religious practices to their art, with murals and sculptures often depicting the tension between Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca as a reminder of the delicate balance that sustained the universe. Beyond its mythological significance, this cosmic war left a lasting mark on Mesoamerican culture. Temples dedicated to these gods were adorned with intricate carvings and paintings that told the story of their rivalry, while rituals and ceremonies sought to appease both deities in hopes of maintaining harmony. Even today, the legacy of this battle can be seen in the rich artistic traditions of the region, where the interplay of creation and destruction continues to inspire. As we reflect on the Battle of the Gods, it's fascinating to see how mythology often serves as a lens through which ancient cultures explain the origins of the world. The Aztecs, like many others, used these stories to make sense of the forces that shaped their lives, forces that remain as mysterious and powerful today as they were thousands of years ago. And as we move forward, we'll see how other mythologies have tackled the same questions, each offering a unique perspective on the eternal dance of life and death. The story of the Battle of the Titans in Mayan mythology is a tale of courage, cunning, and the eternal struggle between life and death. At its heart are the hero twins, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, whose journey into the underworld, known as Xibalba, became a defining moment in Mayan lore. Their mission, to avenge their father and uncle who had been lured into the underworld and defeated by its deceitful lords. But this wasn't just a personal vendetta, it was a battle for the very balance of the cosmos. The lords of Xibalba were masters of trickery, setting traps and riddles to confound and destroy their challengers, yet the hero twins proved to be more than a match. Using their wits and ingenuity, they outsmarted the underworld's rulers, turning their own deceptions against them. One of the most iconic moments came when the twins allowed themselves to be sacrificed, only to rise again, more powerful than ever. This act of resurrection wasn't just a plot twist, it was a profound symbol of life's victory over death, a theme that resonated deeply within Mayan culture. For the Maya, this myth wasn't just entertainment, it was a reflection of their worldview. The triumph of Hunahpu and Xbalanque mirrored the cycles of nature, the daily rebirth of the sun, the seasonal renewal of crops, and the eternal hope that life would always overcome darkness. Their story became a cornerstone of Mayan spirituality, influencing rituals, art, and even their understanding of the afterlife. It was a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, resilience and cleverness could lead to victory. But the legacy of the hero twins extends beyond their cultural impact. Their tale is one of universal themes: struggle, sacrifice, and the enduring power of hope. It's a story that continues to inspire, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, there's always the possibility of renewal. And as we explore the myths of other cultures, we'll see how this theme of life triumphing over death echoes across time and place, connecting humanity through shared stories of resilience and rebirth. The Amazons, those legendary warrior women of Greek mythology, were far more than just a fierce tribe. They were a symbol of defiance and strength in a world dominated by male heroes. Their most famous clash, the Battle of the Amazons, pits them against two of Greece's greatest champions, Hercules and Theseus. But this wasn't just a physical conflict, it was a collision of worlds, a battle that challenged the very fabric of ancient Greek society. Hercules, during his 12 labors, was tasked with retrieving the girdle of Hippolyta, the Amazon queen. At first, Hippolyta was willing to give it to him, but misunderstandings and divine meddling turned what could have been a peaceful exchange into a bloody confrontation. Theseus, on the other hand, abducted Hippolyta's sister Antiope, leading to an all-out war between the Amazons and Athens. These stories aren't just about heroes and battles, they're about power, autonomy, and the struggle for respect. The Amazons, often portrayed as outsiders, represented a world where women held equal, if not greater, authority than men. Their legacy didn't end with mythology. The Amazons became a recurring theme in ancient art, appearing on pottery, sculptures, and even temple friezes. These depictions often showed them as both fearsome and dignified, a testament to their complex role in Greek culture. They weren't just enemies to be defeated, they were a mirror reflecting the anxieties and ideals of a society grappling with questions of gender and power. What's fascinating is how these ancient stories still resonate today. The Amazons challenge traditional norms, showing that strength and leadership aren't tied to gender. They remind us that mythology often serves as a space to explore and question societal boundaries, offering a glimpse into what could be rather than what is. And as we move forward, we'll see how other myths continue to push these boundaries, revealing timeless truths about humanity. The Battle of the Centaurs is one of those legendary clashes that goes far beyond a simple fight. It's a story that digs deep into the heart of what it means to be civilized. Picture this, a wedding celebration, a joyous occasion filled with laughter and feasting. But when the guests include both the Lapiths, a noble and orderly people, and the Centaurs, wild and untamed creatures, things take a dark turn. What begins as a moment of unity quickly spirals into chaos as the Centaurs, intoxicated and unrestrained, disrupt the festivities, sparking a violent battle. This isn't just a tale of conflict, it's a symbolic struggle between civilization and barbarism, order and chaos. At the center of this myth is Theseus, the legendary hero of Athens, who steps in to aid the Lapiths in their fight against the Centaurs. His involvement isn't just about strength or bravery, it's a statement. Theseus represents the ideals of Greek society, reason, law, and the triumph of human order over primal instincts. By siding with the Lapiths, he becomes a symbol of civilization's struggle to maintain control in the face of chaos. The Centaurs, on the other hand, embody the untamed forces of nature, the wildness that threatens to undermine the structures humans build to keep the world in balance. This battle didn't just live on in stories, it left a lasting mark on Greek culture. Artists and sculptors of the ancient world frequently depicted the clash in their work, from intricate pottery designs to grand temple friezes. These images weren't just decorative, they served as a reminder of the constant tension between order and disorder, a theme that resonated deeply in a society that prized harmony and stability. Even in ancient texts, the Battle of the Centaurs is often referenced as a cautionary tale, a warning against the dangers of excess and the fragility of civilization. What makes this myth so enduring is its universal relevance. The struggle between order and chaos isn't just a Greek idea, it's a theme that echoes across cultures and time periods. Whether it's in art, literature, or philosophy, the Battle of the Centaurs serves as a powerful metaphor for the challenges societies face in maintaining balance. It's a reminder that civilization isn't a given. It's something that must be fought for, protected, and nurtured. And as we'll see, this tension between order and chaos is a recurring thread in mythology, one that shapes countless stories and continues to influence how we understand the world around us. The Battle of the Nibelungs stands as one of the most tragic and gripping tales in Germanic mythology, a story where heroism intertwines with treachery and greed leads to devastating consequences. At the heart of this legend is Siegfried, a hero of unmatched strength and courage, whose life becomes entangled in a web of betrayal and vengeance. Siegfried's slaying of the dragon Fafnir and his claiming of the cursed Nibelung treasure set the stage for a conflict that would ripple through generations. But it's not just his bravery that defines this tale. It's the darker themes of human nature that take center stage. Greed, jealousy, and deceit drive the characters, leading to a cascade of violence and sorrow that feels all too real, even in the realm of myth. The Nibelungenlied, the epic poem that immortalizes this story, paints a vivid picture of how these flaws unravel the lives of its characters. Siegfried's trust is betrayed by those closest to him, and his death becomes a catalyst for further bloodshed. This tale isn't just about battles and treasure. It's a profound exploration of how human weaknesses can lead to catastrophic outcomes. Centuries later, the story captivated the imagination of composer Richard Wagner, who transformed it into his monumental opera cycle, Der Ring des Nibelungen. Through Wagner's music, the themes of power, corruption, and fate resonated with audiences, cementing the Nibelung saga's place in the cultural canon. What makes this myth so enduring is its unflinching look at the darker side of humanity. It doesn't shy away from showing how greed can poison relationships or how betrayal can shatter even the strongest bonds. These themes feel timeless, echoing in stories and conflicts throughout history. The Battle of the Nibelungs reminds us that mythology isn't just about gods and monsters, it's a mirror reflecting our own struggles, flaws, and the consequences of our actions. And as we move forward, this tale serves as a powerful reminder of how deeply human nature is woven into the fabric of myth. In the heart of Norse mythology, where the clash of steel and the roar of battle echo through the ages, the Valkyries stand as Odin's divine handmaidens, weaving the threads of fate on the battlefield. These warrior maidens, cloaked in both beauty and ferocity, are far more than mere spectators of war. They are the arbiters of destiny. Their role is to ride across the skies, observing the chaos below, and choose which fallen warriors are worthy of an afterlife in the grand halls of Valhalla. It's a task steeped in both honor and solemnity, as the Valkyries don't just select the brave, they shape the very fabric of Norse belief in heroism and sacrifice. The Battle of the Valkyries, though less a physical conflict and more a spiritual one, embodies the tension between mortal struggle and divine will. These maidens don't fight alongside warriors. Instead, they oversee the battlefield, their presence a reminder that even in death there is purpose. For the Norse, this wasn't just about earning a place in Odin's hall, it was about embracing the inevitability of fate. The Valkyries' choices were seen as divinely guided, their judgments reflecting the god's favor and the warriors' adherence to the code of honor. This idea of destiny intertwined with bravery is a cornerstone of Norse culture, influencing everything from their epic sagas to their rituals of war. Culturally, the Valkyries have left a profound mark. They symbolize the duality of life and death, the beauty of courage, and the inevitability of fate. Their imagery has inspired countless works of art, from ancient carvings to modern interpretations in literature and film. Even today, the Valkyries remain iconic figures, embodying themes of empowerment, resilience, and the eternal dance between free will and predestination. Their legacy reminds us that mythology isn't just about gods and monsters. It's about the human experience, the choices we make, and the stories we tell to make sense of our place in the world. As we reflect on the Valkyries and their sacred duty, it's impossible not to notice how deeply mythology intertwines destiny and heroism. These tales remind us that the greatest battles aren't always fought with swords, they're fought in the hearts of those who dare to face their fate with honor. And as we move forward, we'll see how these themes echo across cultures, shaping the way we understand courage, sacrifice, and the timeless allure of the heroic ideal. The Battle of the Fomorians stands as one of the most dramatic clashes in Irish mythology, a timeless struggle between the Tuatha De Danann, the divine race of Ireland, and the Fomorians, their shadowy, oppressive foes. This legendary conflict isn't just a tale of swords and shields, it's a vivid portrayal of light battling darkness, order confronting chaos, At the heart of this myth is Lug, the multi-skilled hero whose arrival turns the tide of battle. Known as Lug of the Long Arm, he embodies the brilliance of strategy and the power of unity, rallying the Tuatha De Danann against the monstrous Fomorians, who represent the wild, untamed forces of the natural world. The Fomorians are often depicted as grotesque and fearsome, with some described as having one eye, one arm, or even the heads of animals. They symbolize the primal, chaotic elements that early societies sought to overcome in their quest for stability and civilization. In contrast, the Tuatha De Danann are portrayed as wise, skilled, and deeply connected to the land, embodying the ideals of harmony and progress. This duality, light versus dark, order versus chaos, echoes throughout mythologies worldwide, but in Irish lore it takes on a uniquely vivid form. Lug's role in this battle is pivotal. He isn't just a warrior, he's a symbol of hope and ingenuity. Before the battle, he challenges the Fomorian king, Balor of the Evil Eye, whose gaze alone could bring death. But Lug, with his cunning and bravery, outsmarts Balor, delivering a decisive blow that secures victory for the Tuatha De Danann. This moment isn't just a triumph of strength, it's a testament to the power of intelligence and resourcefulness in overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. The cultural impact of this myth is profound. The Battle of the Fomorians has shaped Irish folklore for centuries, influencing stories of heroism, resilience, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. It's a tale that resonates deeply with the Irish spirit, celebrating the triumph of light over darkness and the enduring power of unity. Ancient texts like the Liber Gabola, the Book of Invasions, preserve this story, ensuring its legacy continues to inspire generations. This myth also invites us to reflect on a universal theme found in countless mythologies, the eternal conflict between opposing forces. Whether it's light versus darkness, order versus chaos, or good versus evil, these stories remind us of humanity's enduring quest for balance and meaning. As we move forward, this theme will continue to surface, connecting myths across cultures and time. The Battle of the Fomorians isn't just an Irish legend, it's a timeless narrative that speaks to the heart of the human experience. The Battle of the Tuatha De Danann stands as one of the most pivotal moments in Irish mythology, a divine struggle that shaped the very fabric of Ireland's spiritual and cultural identity. This legendary conflict, fought between the Tuatha De Danann, a race of godlike beings, and the Fir Bolg, another ancient people, was far more than just a clash of armies. It was a battle over sovereignty, the divine right to rule, and the sacred connection between the land and its people. According to the ancient texts, the Tuatha De Danann arrived in Ireland shrouded in mist, bringing with them 4 magical treasures: the Stone of Fal, which would cry out under the rightful king, the Spear of Lug, which never missed its mark, the Sword of Nuada, from which no enemy could escape, and the Cauldron of the Dagda, which could feed an entire army. These artifacts weren't just symbols of power, they were embodiments of the divine authority the Tuatha De Danann claimed over Ireland. The Fir Bolg, however, refused to yield without a fight, leading to the first of the great mythological battles on Irish soil. Themes of sovereignty and legitimacy run deep in this story. When Nuada, the king of the Tuatha De Danann, lost his hand in battle, he was forced to abdicate the throne, as Irish law dictated that a king must be physically whole to rule. This moment reflects the ancient belief that a ruler's connection to the land was sacred and unbreakable, a theme that resonates throughout Irish folklore. The eventual victory of the Tuatha De Danann, led by the restored Nuada and the heroic Lug, cemented their status as the rightful guardians of Ireland, a narrative that would echo through centuries of Irish storytelling. The cultural impact of this battle is profound. It wasn't just a tale of conquest, it was a story about the origins of power and the divine right to lead. The Tuatha De Danann became a symbol of Ireland's spiritual heritage, their legacy woven into the country's myths, poetry, and even its landscape. Many of Ireland's ancient landmarks are said to be tied to their deeds. This mythology also reflects the Irish people's deep connection to their land, a relationship that has endured through centuries of change and hardship. As we explore these themes, it's impossible not to notice how mythology often serves as a mirror for the human experience, particularly when it comes to the origins and exercise of power. The Battle of the Tuatha De Danann is just one example of how these ancient stories continue to shape our understanding of authority, leadership, and the sacred bonds between people and place. And as we move forward, we'll see how these timeless ideas resonate in other legendary battles across cultures, each with its own unique lessons and legacies. The Battle of the Giants, or Gigantomachy, stands as one of the most monumental clashes in Greek mythology, a cosmic showdown between the Olympian gods and the towering, earth-born giants. This wasn't just a fight for supremacy, it was a battle for the very fabric of the universe, pitting divine order against primordial chaos. The giants, born from the blood of Uranus after his fall, were beings of immense power, each embodying the raw, untamed forces of nature. They rose against the gods, seeking to overthrow the Olympians and plunge the world back into an age of disorder. But the gods, led by Zeus, were not alone in this struggle. They called upon a mortal hero, Hercules, whose strength and courage would prove pivotal in tipping the scales in their favor. Hercules' involvement in the Gigantomachy is fascinating because it bridges the divine and the human. While the gods had their own powers, they needed a mortal's unique ability to strike the final blows against the giants. This alliance underscores a recurring theme in Greek mythology, the idea that even the mightiest forces of the cosmos rely on human courage and ingenuity to maintain balance. The battle itself was a spectacle of epic proportions, with gods and giants clashing across the heavens and the earth, hurling mountains and summoning storms. Each giant had to be defeated in a specific way, often requiring clever tactics and divine weapons, adding layers of strategy and mythic significance to the conflict. The Gigantomachy wasn't just a tale of divine warfare. It resonated deeply with the ancient Greeks, shaping their art, literature, and worldview. In temples and pottery, the battle was depicted as a grand, chaotic struggle, with gods like Athena and Zeus towering over their foes. These artistic representations served as reminders of the gods' triumph over chaos and their role as protectors of order. The story also found its way into ancient texts, where poets like Hesiod and Pindar recounted the battle with vivid detail, ensuring its place in the cultural memory of Greece. This myth's enduring legacy lies in its exploration of universal themes: order versus chaos, the role of heroes, and the fragile balance that keeps the world intact. It's a story that speaks to the human desire to make sense of the forces beyond our control, to find meaning in the struggle between light and darkness. And it's a reminder that, even in the grandest cosmic conflicts, the actions of individuals can shape the course of history. As we reflect on the Gigantomachy, it's striking how often mythology returns to this idea of cosmic struggles, battles that define the very nature of existence. These stories aren't just about gods and monsters, they're about the eternal tension between creation and destruction, a theme that resonates across cultures and eras. And as we move forward, we'll see how other mythologies grapple with these same questions, offering their own unique perspectives on the forces that shape our world. The Battle of the Titans, known as the Titanomachy, stands as one of the most epic and transformative conflicts in Greek mythology. This was no ordinary war. It was a divine struggle that reshaped the cosmos, pitting the older generation of Titans, led by Cronus, against the younger Olympian gods under the command of Zeus. At its heart, this battle was about more than just power. It symbolized the inevitable clash between the old and the new, the past and the future. The Titans, who once ruled the universe, represented an older order, one of chaos and primal forces. Cronus, their leader, had overthrown his own father, Uranus, only to be told by fate that one of his children would one day overthrow him. Fearful of this prophecy, Cronus swallowed each of his children at birth until Zeus, the youngest, was saved by his mother, Re. Hidden away and raised in secret, Zeus grew into a formidable force, eventually returning to challenge his father and free his siblings. This act set the stage for a decade-long war that would decide the fate of the cosmos. The themes of the Titanomachy resonate deeply, not just in mythology but in the human experience. It's a story of generational conflict, of the old ways giving way to the new. Zeus and his siblings, representing order, justice, and a more structured world, ultimately triumphed over the chaotic rule of the Titans. This victory marked the beginning of a new era, with Zeus ascending as the king of the gods and establishing Mount Olympus as the seat of divine power. The battle itself was filled with dramatic moments, lightning bolts hurled, mountains thrown, and the earth itself trembling under the force of the gods' might. But the Titanomachy wasn't just a tale of gods and monsters. It was a foundational myth for the ancient Greeks, shaping their understanding of power, leadership, and the natural order. The story was immortalized in texts like Hesiod's Theogony, where the struggle between the Titans and Olympians was depicted as the ultimate cosmic battle. It also served as a metaphor for the Greek belief in the cyclical nature of power, how every ruler, no matter how mighty, must eventually face the rise of a new generation. The cultural impact of the Titanomachy is profound. It influenced Greek art, literature, and even politics, reinforcing the idea that power must be earned and maintained through wisdom and strength, not just brute force. Even today, echoes of this myth can be found in modern storytelling, where themes of rebellion, succession, and the triumph of order over chaos continue to captivate audiences. As we reflect on the Battle of the Titans, it's impossible not to see how mythology often explores the transition of power, a theme that resonates across cultures and time. This idea of shifting authority, of new leaders rising to replace the old, is a thread that weaves through countless myths, reminding us that change is both inevitable and essential. And as we move forward, this theme will continue to shape the stories we tell and the lessons we learn. The Battle of the Gods in Egyptian mythology is one of the most dramatic and symbolic clashes in ancient storytelling, pitting Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship and the sky, against his uncle Set, the god of chaos and destruction. This legendary struggle wasn't just a physical fight. It was a cosmic battle that embodied the eternal struggle between order and chaos, justice and vengeance. The story begins with Set's betrayal. After murdering his brother Osiris, Horus's father, Set seizes the throne of Egypt, plunging the world into turmoil. Horus, driven by both a desire for justice and a need to avenge his father, rises to challenge Set, setting the stage for a conflict that would define the very fabric of Egyptian cosmology. The battles between Horus and Set are more than just tales of divine combat. They're deeply symbolic narratives about the restoration of balance. Each encounter between the two gods reflects the tension between opposing forces in the universe. Horus represents the ideal of rightful rule and order, while Set embodies the chaotic forces that threaten to disrupt it. Their battles span decades, filled with dramatic twists. Horus loses an eye, Set suffers grave injuries, and the gods themselves intervene to mediate the conflict. But through it all, the story underscores a central theme: the necessity of justice and the ultimate triumph of order over chaos. This idea wasn't just a mythological concept. It was a cornerstone of Egyptian culture, shaping their understanding of the world and their place within it. The cultural impact of this myth is profound. In Egyptian art, the imagery of Horus and Set's struggle is ubiquitous, often depicted in temple carvings, statues, and hieroglyphs. Horus's victory symbolizes the pharaoh's divine right to rule, reinforcing the idea that the king was a living embodiment of cosmic order. Meanwhile, Set's role as a necessary force of chaos reminds us that balance requires both light and shadow. This duality resonated deeply in Egyptian religion, influencing rituals, temple architecture, and even the way Egyptians viewed the natural world. The Nile's annual flooding, for example, was seen as a reflection of this cosmic balance, life-giving yet unpredictable, just like the gods themselves. What makes this myth so enduring is its universal message. At its core, the Battle of the Gods is about more than just two deities locked in combat. It's a reflection of humanity's own struggles with justice, revenge, and the quest for harmony. Myths like these don't just entertain, they explain the world, offering insights into the forces that shape our lives and societies. And as we'll see, this theme of balance and power is echoed in countless other mythological battles, each with its own unique cultural significance. The Battle of the Serpents is one of the most striking tales in Hindu mythology, a cosmic clash that pits Garuda, the mighty eagle and mount of Lord Vishnu, against the Nagas, a race of serpent beings. This isn't just a story of good versus evil, it's a profound exploration of loyalty, sacrifice, and the delicate balance that holds the universe together. Garuda, bound by his loyalty to his mother, strikes a deal with the Nagas to free her from their captivity. But this act of devotion comes at a cost, setting the stage for an epic struggle. The Nagas, guardians of the underworld's treasures, represent the darker, hidden forces of nature, while Garuda embodies the celestial power of light and freedom. Their battle is a metaphor for the eternal tension between opposites, light and shadow, chaos and order, duty and desire. What makes this myth so enduring is its depth. Garuda's quest isn't just about defeating his enemies, it's about navigating the complexities of sacrifice and honor. His willingness to serve the gods even after freeing his mother shows a deeper commitment to the cosmic order. Meanwhile, the Nagas, though often seen as adversaries, are not simply villains. They represent the necessary balance of life's dualities. Without the serpent's wisdom and the eagle's strength, the world would tip into imbalance. This duality is a recurring theme in Hindu thought, reminding us that harmony often comes from the interplay of opposing forces. The cultural impact of this battle is undeniable. Hindu art frequently depicts Garuda and the Nagas, symbolizing the eternal struggle and coexistence of opposites. Temple carvings, paintings, and sculptures bring this myth to life, showcasing Garuda's fierce determination and the Nagas' coiled power. Ancient texts like the Mahabharata and the Puranas also weave this tale into their narratives, ensuring its place in the collective memory of Hindu culture. Even today, the imagery of Garuda and the serpents continues to inspire, serving as a reminder of the delicate equilibrium that sustains the cosmos. As we reflect on this story, it's clear that mythology often thrives on exploring the interplay of opposites. Whether it's light and dark, chaos and order, or loyalty and sacrifice, these tales remind us that balance is not a static state but a dynamic dance. And just as Garuda and the Nagas shape the world of Hindu mythology, their story shapes our understanding of the forces that govern our own lives. As we move deeper into the realm of mythology, we come to a battle that transcends physical combat, a struggle not of swords and shields but of the mind and spirit. In Buddhist mythology, the battle of the demons stands as a profound allegory for the journey toward enlightenment. At its heart is Mara, the personification of temptation, distraction, and desire, who seeks to derail Siddhartha Gautama, the future Buddha, from his path to awakening. This confrontation isn't fought on a battlefield of earth and stone. but within the mind where the stakes are nothing less than liberation from suffering. The story unfolds beneath the Bodhi tree where Siddhartha sits in deep meditation, poised to achieve enlightenment. Mara, determined to prevent this, unleashes a barrage of temptations, pleasure, fear, doubt, and even visions of armies and storms to shake Siddhartha's resolve. Yet the future Buddha remains unmoved, touching the earth as a witness to his steadfastness. This act, known as the earth-touching gesture, symbolizes his grounding in truth and his triumph over illusion. It's a moment of profound spiritual victory where inner peace conquers chaos. This battle isn't just a tale of spiritual heroism, it's a universal metaphor for the human experience. Mara represents the distractions and attachments that pull us away from our true purpose, while the Buddha embodies the potential within all of us to rise above these struggles. The story speaks to the timeless tension between our higher aspirations and the temptations that can derail us. It's a reminder that enlightenment isn't a destination but a continuous journey requiring vigilance and inner strength. The cultural impact of this myth is vast. In Buddhist art, Mara is often depicted as a menacing figure surrounded by his army of demons, while the Buddha sits serenely, untouched by the chaos. These images serve as powerful reminders of the inner battles we all face. Ancient texts such as the Mara Samyutta in the Pali Canon delve into the nuances of this struggle, offering insights into the nature of desire and the path to overcoming it. Even today, the story inspires meditation practices and teachings, encouraging individuals to confront their own Mara and seek clarity amidst life's distractions. What makes this battle so enduring is its relevance. It's not just a story about a historical figure, it's a reflection of the universal human condition. Mythology often mirrors our inner conflicts, and the Battle of the Demons is a perfect example of how these ancient narratives continue to resonate. They remind us that the greatest battles are often fought within, and that victory lies in understanding ourselves. The dragons of Chinese mythology are not mere creatures of fantasy. They are symbols of power, wisdom, and the delicate balance of the universe. Among their many tales, the Battle of the Dragons stands out as a legendary clash that embodies the eternal struggle between harmony and chaos. This conflict, deeply rooted in the philosophy of yin and yang, reveals how opposing forces are not just at odds but are essential to maintaining the world's equilibrium. In this myth, two mighty dragons, one representing the tranquil, nurturing energy of yin, and the other embodying the dynamic, fiery force of yang, engage in a fierce battle. Their struggle is not just a physical confrontation but a cosmic dance, reflecting the natural order of the universe. The yin dragon, often associated with water and calmness, seeks to restore peace, while the yang dragon, linked to fire and movement, brings disruption and change. Together, their conflict symbolizes the cyclical nature of life, where balance is not static but constantly shifting. This story has left an indelible mark on Chinese culture, particularly in art and literature. Ancient scrolls and paintings often depict the dragons intertwined, their forms creating a visual representation of harmony amidst chaos. The tale also appears in classic texts like the I Ching, where the interplay of yin and yang is explored as a fundamental principle of existence. Even today, the imagery of these dragons can be seen in traditional festivals, architecture, and even modern media, reminding us of the enduring power of this myth. But the Battle of the Dragons is more than just a story. It's a reflection of how mythology often explores the concept of cosmic harmony. These ancient narratives remind us that balance is not about the absence of conflict but the coexistence of opposing forces. As we move forward, we'll see how other myths from around the world echo this theme, offering timeless lessons about the interconnectedness of all things. From the ashes of destruction rises the promise of renewal, a theme at the heart of one of Egyptian mythology's most profound tales, the Battle of the Phoenix. This legendary conflict isn't fought with swords or armies, but through the eternal struggle of life, death, and rebirth. At its center is the sun god Ra, whose nightly journey through the underworld and triumphant return at dawn mirrors the cycle of the phoenix, a symbol of regeneration and immortality. In this battle, the phoenix doesn't merely rise, it embodies the very essence of existence, conquering darkness to bring forth light. This myth carries layers of meaning, deeply rooted in the ancient Egyptian understanding of the natural world. The daily journey of the sun across the sky wasn't just a celestial event, it was a divine drama, a battle against chaos and oblivion. The phoenix, often depicted as a radiant bird with fiery plumage, becomes a living metaphor for Ra's victory over the forces of destruction. Its rebirth from its own ashes signifies not just renewal but the enduring power of life itself, a concept that resonated deeply in a culture that revered the afterlife and the eternal soul. The influence of this myth extends far beyond the realm of storytelling. In Egyptian art, the phoenix appears in hieroglyphs, tomb paintings, and temple carvings, often alongside Ra or as a standalone symbol of divine resilience. Ancient texts such as the Book of the Dead frequently reference the phoenix's role in the cosmic order, emphasizing its connection to both the sun and the afterlife. These depictions weren't just decorative, they were meant to inspire hope and remind the living of their own potential for spiritual renewal. What makes the Battle of the Phoenix so enduring is its universal message. It's not just a story about a mythical bird or a god. It's a reflection of humanity's own struggles and triumphs. The cycle of life, death, and rebirth is a theme that transcends cultures and eras, resonating with anyone who has faced hardship and emerged stronger. In Egyptian mythology, this cycle isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always the possibility of renewal. Mythology, as we've seen time and again, has a unique way of capturing the timeless truths of existence. Whether it's the sun rising after the longest night or the phoenix rising from its ashes, these stories remind us that life is a cycle, not a straight line. And as we move forward, we'll see how this theme of eternal recurrence appears in other myths, each one offering its own perspective on the unending dance of creation and destruction. The deep, churning waters of the North Sea have long inspired tales of awe and terror, and among the most fearsome of these legends is the Kraken. In Norse mythology, this colossal sea monster stirred both dread and fascination, embodying humanity's primal fear of the unknown. The Battle of the Kraken is less a single, defined conflict and more a symbolic struggle, a testament to the courage it takes to face what lies beneath the waves. Sailors whispered of its massive tentacles, capable of dragging entire ships into the abyss, and its eyes glowing like beacons of doom in the dark waters. Yet within these stories, there's also a thread of heroism. Those who stood against the Kraken, whether gods or mortals, were celebrated not just for their strength, but for their willingness to confront the unimaginable. This battle, though often shrouded in myth, reveals much about Norse culture. The Kraken wasn't just a monster, it was a metaphor for the perils of the sea, a force as unpredictable as it was deadly. For a seafaring people like the Norse, the ocean was both a lifeline and a grave, and the Kraken embodied that duality. It's no wonder, then, that this creature has endured in folklore, symbolizing the eternal struggle between man and nature. Over time, the Kraken's legend seeped into literature, from medieval sagas to modern novels, where it continues to captivate audiences with its blend of horror and mystery. Even today, the Kraken appears in films, games, and art, a testament to its lasting grip on our collective imagination. What makes the Kraken so enduring, though, isn't just its terrifying appearance or its destructive power, it's the deeper themes it represents. Fear of the unknown is universal, and the Kraken taps into that primal emotion, but it also reminds us that within that fear lies the potential for bravery. The heroes who faced the Kraken didn't simply defeat a monster, they confronted their own anxieties, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage can prevail. This interplay of fear and heroism is a recurring motif in mythology, reflecting humanity's eternal quest to understand and conquer the mysteries of the world around us. Mythology, after all, is more than just a collection of stories. It's a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears and highest aspirations. The Kraken's tale is one of countless examples where myth explores the unknown, inviting us to confront what we don't fully understand. Whether it's the depths of the ocean, the vastness of the cosmos, or the shadows of our own minds, these stories remind us that the unknown, while terrifying, is also a source of endless wonder. Deep within the winding passages of the labyrinth, a battle unfolded that would echo through the ages, a clash not just of strength but of wits and willpower. The tale of Theseus and the Minotaur is one of Greek mythology's most enduring stories, a vivid illustration of heroism, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. At its heart lies the Minotaur, a monstrous creature born of divine wrath, and Theseus, a mortal hero determined to end its reign of terror. But this wasn't just a fight against a beast, it was a battle against the very forces of disorder that threatened to consume humanity. The Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull hybrid, was the embodiment of primal chaos confined to the labyrinth's endless maze. Its very existence was a testament to the consequences of human folly and divine punishment. Yet Theseus, armed with courage and guided by the cleverness of Ariadne and her thread, ventured into the depths to confront the monster. His victory wasn't just a triumph of physical might, it was a celebration of human ingenuity and reason. By navigating the labyrinth and defeating the Minotaur, Theseus symbolized humanity's ability to overcome even the most insurmountable challenges through intellect and determination. This battle resonated deeply in Greek culture, becoming a powerful metaphor for the triumph of civilization over savagery. Ancient artists and writers immortalized Theseus's feat, depicting him as the ideal hero, brave, resourceful, and selfless. The story also reflects the Greek reverence for reason and logic, values that would later shape their philosophy and governance. Even today, the imagery of the labyrinth and the Minotaur continues to inspire, appearing in literature, art, and even modern psychology as a symbol of the inner struggles we all face. But beyond its cultural significance, the Battle of the Minotaur speaks to a universal truth: the power of human ingenuity to conquer chaos. It reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, we possess the tools to navigate life's complexities and emerge victorious. And as we look back at this legendary conflict, we see how mythology often celebrates not just the heroes, but the timeless qualities that make us human: our ability to think, to adapt, and to persevere. Hercules faced one of his most daunting challenges in the Battle of the Hydra, a monstrous serpent with multiple heads, each one capable of regenerating if severed. This wasn't just a physical battle, it was a test of wit, strategy, and sheer determination. The Hydra, born of the primordial gods, represented chaos and destruction, a force that seemed impossible to overcome. But Hercules, armed with his club and aided by his nephew Iolaus, devised a clever plan. Each time he cut off one of the Hydra's heads, Iolaus would cauterize the wound with fire, preventing it from growing back. It was a grueling fight, but through teamwork and ingenuity, Hercules emerged victorious. This battle isn't just a tale of brute strength, it's a lesson in perseverance and adaptability. The Hydra's regenerating heads symbolize the way challenges often multiply when we try to confront them. Hercules' journey teaches us that sometimes brute force isn't enough. We need clever solutions and the support of others to overcome life's most persistent obstacles. This theme of triumph through resilience has resonated across centuries, making the Hydra's story a cornerstone of Greek mythology. The cultural impact of this myth is profound. In ancient Greek art, depictions of Hercules battling the Hydra adorned pottery, sculptures, and murals, symbolizing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Writers like Apollodorus and Pausanias chronicled the tale, embedding it deeply into the fabric of Greek storytelling. Even today, the Hydra's imagery persists, often used as a metaphor for complex problems that require innovative solutions. The battle's enduring legacy reminds us that heroism isn't just about physical might, it's about facing the unknown with courage and resourcefulness. Mythology often explores the challenges of heroism, and the Battle of the Hydra is no exception. It shows us that the path of a hero is rarely straightforward, filled with obstacles that demand both strength and intelligence. As we move forward, we'll see how other myths further unravel the complexities of what it means to be a hero, each story adding another layer to this timeless narrative. The Battle of the Chimera stands as one of the most striking examples of heroism in Greek mythology, a tale where courage, strategy, and divine intervention collide. At the heart of this legend is Bellerophon, a mortal hero tasked with slaying the Chimera, a fearsome hybrid creature born of multiple beasts, its body part lion, part goat, and its tail a venomous serpent. This monstrous being, with its fiery breath and insatiable hunger, terrorized the land of Lycia, leaving destruction in its wake. But Bellerophon's journey wasn't just about brute strength. It was a testament to the balance between human ingenuity and the favor of the gods. To succeed, Bellerophon sought the help of the goddess Athena, who gifted him a golden bridle to tame the winged horse Pegasus. This partnership between mortal and divine forces is a recurring theme in Greek mythology, emphasizing the idea that humans alone could not conquer the greatest challenges without the gods' guidance. Riding Pegasus, Bellerophon soared above the Chimera, outsmarting the beast by attacking from the air, a brilliant strategy that showcased his resourcefulness as much as his bravery. The defeat of the Chimera became a symbol of triumph over chaos, a reminder that even the most terrifying obstacles could be overcome with courage and divine support. The cultural impact of this battle rippled through ancient Greece, inspiring countless works of art and literature. Vases, sculptures, and mosaics depicted the dramatic showdown, immortalizing Bellerophon's victory and the Chimera's monstrous form. These artistic representations weren't just decorative, they served as moral lessons, illustrating the virtues of heroism, humility, and the importance of seeking higher guidance. Even in ancient texts like Homer's Iliad, the Chimera is mentioned as a symbol of insurmountable danger, further cementing its place in the collective imagination of the Greeks. This legendary battle also reflects a deeper truth about mythology, the seamless intertwining of human effort and divine will. It's a recurring motif that underscores the belief that the gods were ever present in the lives of mortals, shaping their destinies and testing their mettle. As we move forward, this connection between the earthly and the divine becomes even more apparent, revealing how myths served not only as entertainment but as a way to explore the complexities of human existence and our relationship with the forces beyond our control. The Battle of the Sphinx stands as one of the most iconic encounters in Greek mythology, not for its physical clash of swords or shields, but for its profound test of wit and wisdom. At the heart of this legendary tale is Oedipus, the tragic hero destined to unravel the mysteries of his own fate. When he arrives at Thebes, the city is terrorized by the Sphinx, a fearsome creature with the body of a lion, the wings of an eagle, and the face of a woman. Her weapon isn't brute strength, but a riddle she poses to all who dare approach. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? Those who fail to answer meet a grim end, their bones littering the path to the city gates. Oedipus, however, is no ordinary man. With sharp intellect and unyielding determination, he solves the riddle, declaring that the answer is man himself, crawling as a baby, walking upright in adulthood, and leaning on a cane in old age. This moment of revelation shatters the Sphinx's power, and in some versions of the myth, she hurls herself to her death, freeing Thebes from her tyranny. But this battle is far more than a simple triumph of cleverness. It's a reflection of the ancient Greek reverence for wisdom and the belief that knowledge can conquer even the most daunting challenges. Themes of fate and intellect intertwine in this story, as Oedipus's victory over the Sphinx foreshadows his tragic destiny. Though he outsmarts the monster, he cannot escape the prophecy that he will unknowingly kill his father and marry his mother. This duality of wisdom and inevitable doom resonates deeply in Greek thought, emphasizing the limits of human understanding in the face of divine will. Culturally, the Sphinx's riddle has left an indelible mark. Greek art frequently depicts this moment, showcasing Oedipus as the archetype of the thinking hero. Ancient texts from Homer to Sophocles immortalize the encounter, cementing its place in the collective imagination. The Sphinx herself becomes a symbol of mystery and the intellectual challenges that define the human condition. This battle also underscores a broader theme in mythology, the celebration of knowledge as a transformative force. Stories like these remind us that heroes aren't always defined by their strength or courage alone, but by their ability to think, reason, and solve problems. As we move forward, we'll explore how this theme echoes across other myths, revealing the timeless power of intellect in shaping both legends and the cultures that preserve them. The tale of the Gorgons, particularly the fateful encounter between Perseus and Medusa, stands as one of Greek mythology's most iconic battles, a story that intertwines terror, heroism, and divine intervention. At its heart lies Medusa, the once beautiful priestess cursed by Athena into a monstrous figure with snakes for hair and a gaze that could turn any living being to stone. Her sisters, Estheno and Uriel, shared her Gorgon form but not her mortality, making Medusa the sole target of Perseus's quest. Armed with nothing but his wits and a shield polished to a mirror-like finish, Perseus embarked on a perilous journey guided by the gods themselves. Athena gifted him the reflective shield, Hermes provided winged sandals for swift movement, and Hades lent his helm of invisibility. Each tool symbolized not just divine favor, but the idea that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with the right preparation and support. What makes this battle so compelling is its layered symbolism. Perseus's victory over Medusa isn't just a triumph of strength, it's a testament to ingenuity and courage in the face of overwhelming danger. By using the shield to avoid her petrifying gaze, Perseus outsmarts his foe, reminding us that heroism often requires more than brute force. This story also mirrors the classic hero's journey, where an ordinary individual, aided by supernatural forces, rises to achieve the extraordinary. For Perseus, the quest wasn't just about slaying a monster, it was about proving his worth and fulfilling his destiny. The cultural impact of this myth is equally fascinating. In ancient Greek art, Medusa's head, known as the Gorgonean, became a powerful symbol of protection. Warriors and kings adorned their shields, armor, and even buildings with her image, believing it could ward off evil. This paradoxical use of a monster's visage as a talisman reflects the Greeks' complex relationship with fear and power. Medusa, once a figure of dread, was transformed into a guardian, her story immortalized not only in art but also in texts like Hesiod's Theogony and Ovid's Metamorphoses. These accounts explore the duality of her character, both victim and villain, adding depth to her legend. This battle resonates beyond its mythological roots, offering a timeless lesson about the triumph of good over evil. Perseus's story reminds us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, courage, resourcefulness, and divine guidance can lead to victory. It's a theme that echoes across countless myths and legends, reinforcing humanity's enduring fascination with heroes who rise against darkness. The tale of the Cyclops is one of the most iconic moments in Greek mythology, and nowhere is it more vividly depicted than in the clash between Odysseus and Polyphemus. This legendary battle, immortalized in Homer's Odyssey, isn't just a story of brute strength, it's a masterclass in cunning and survival. Stranded on the island of the Cyclops, Odysseus and his men find themselves trapped in the cave of Polyphemus, a towering, one-eyed giant with a taste for human flesh. But what unfolds isn't a battle of swords or shields, it's a battle of wits. Odysseus, ever the strategist, devises a plan to blind Polyphemus and escape by hiding under the bellies of the giant's sheep. It's a moment that showcases the hero's resourcefulness, proving that brains can triumph over brawn. This story resonates deeply because it taps into a universal theme, the power of ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. The Cyclops encounter isn't just about defeating a monster, it's about outsmarting one. Odysseus's clever use of deception, from his false name, Nobody, to his careful timing, underscores the importance of quick thinking and adaptability. These qualities made him a hero not just in myth but in the hearts of ancient Greeks, who saw his resourcefulness as a reflection of their own values. The tale became a cultural touchstone, inspiring countless works of art, from intricate pottery designs to dramatic theatrical performances. It's a testament to how mythology can celebrate the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most terrifying challenges. Beyond its entertainment value, the Battle of the Cyclops also carries a deeper symbolic meaning. Polyphemus, with his singular vision, represents a kind of narrow-mindedness, a lack of perspective that ultimately leads to his downfall. Odysseus, on the other hand, embodies the power of seeing the bigger picture, of thinking several steps ahead. This contrast is a recurring theme in Greek mythology, where intelligence and foresight are often the keys to victory. The story's enduring appeal lies in its ability to remind us that even in the darkest moments, there's always a way forward, if we're willing to think creatively. As we reflect on this legendary battle, it's clear that its impact extends far beyond the pages of ancient texts. It's a story that has shaped how we view heroism, survival, and the triumph of the mind over brute force. And as we move forward, we'll see how this celebration of human ingenuity continues to echo through the myths and legends of cultures around the world. In the realm of Greek mythology, few creatures evoke as much terror and fascination as the Harpies, winged monsters with the faces of women and the bodies of birds. These relentless beings, often seen as agents of divine punishment, play a pivotal role in one of the most intriguing battles of myth, the clash between Jason and the Argonauts. As Jason and his crew sought the Golden Fleece, they encountered the Harpies, who had been tormenting the blind prophet Phineus by snatching away his food and leaving him in perpetual hunger. This battle wasn't just a physical confrontation. It was a test of perseverance, ingenuity, and the delicate balance between human effort and divine intervention. The story goes that Phineus, cursed by Zeus, could only be freed from the Harpies' torment if the Argonauts intervened. Jason, ever the resourceful leader, enlisted the help of the winged Boreads, sons of the North Wind, who could match the Harpies' speed and ferocity. In a dramatic aerial chase, the Boreads drove the Harpies away, but not before promising they would never return. This moment underscores a recurring theme in Greek mythology, the reliance of heroes on the gods or divine allies to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. It's a reminder that even the greatest human efforts often require a touch of the divine to succeed. The Battle of the Harpies also left a lasting mark on Greek culture. These winged monsters became symbols of swift retribution and the inescapable nature of divine will. Their image appeared frequently in ancient art, from pottery to sculptures, often depicted as fearsome yet strangely alluring figures. In literature, they served as cautionary symbols, embodying the consequences of defying the gods or failing to show proper reverence. Even today, the harpies continue to captivate our imagination, appearing in modern retellings of myth and fantasy as embodiments of chaos and punishment. What makes this battle particularly fascinating is how it reflects the interplay between human determination and divine influence. Jason's success wasn't just about brute strength or clever tactics. It was about understanding when to rely on others, both mortal and immortal. This blend of human and divine efforts is a recurring thread in mythology, reminding us that heroes are rarely solitary figures. They exist in a world where gods and monsters shape their destinies, and their greatest triumphs often come from navigating this complex web of forces. As we move forward, we'll see how mythology consistently weaves together the human and the divine, showing us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, there's always a path to victory if we're willing to embrace both our own strengths and the help of forces beyond our control. The tale of the sirens is one of the most haunting and thought-provoking episodes in Greek mythology, a story that pits the hero Odysseus against an irresistible force of temptation. As Odysseus and his crew sailed toward their homeland of Ithaca after the Trojan War, they faced countless trials, but none were as perilous as the sirens. These enchanting creatures, half bird and half woman, lured sailors to their doom with songs so beautiful that no mortal could resist them. Odysseus, however, was no ordinary hero. Warned by the sorceress Circe, he devised a cunning plan to outwit the sirens, tying himself to the mast of his ship and ordering his crew to plug their ears with wax. This way, he could hear the siren's song without succumbing to its deadly allure. It's a moment that speaks volumes about the power of self-control and the strength of the human spirit. The Battle of the Sirens isn't just a physical confrontation. It's a battle of the mind. Odysseus, bound to the mast, struggles against his own desires, proving that true heroism often lies in mastering oneself. This theme of temptation and self-discipline resonates deeply with audiences even today. The sirens represent more than just a mythical danger. They symbolize the seductive distractions that can lead us astray, whether in ambition, love, or even simple pleasures. Odysseus's victory over them isn't about brute strength, but about foresight, strategy, and the will to endure. The cultural impact of this story is profound. In ancient Greek art, the sirens were often depicted as both beautiful and terrifying, serving as a reminder of the dual nature of temptation. They appear in pottery, sculptures, and even on coins, their haunting presence a testament to the story's enduring appeal. Ancient texts like Homer's Odyssey immortalize the encounter, cementing the sirens as iconic figures in the mythic landscape. Their song, though never fully described, has inspired countless interpretations from poets to musicians, each imagining what such irresistible beauty might sound like. This myth also reveals something universal about human nature. The siren's call isn't just a test for Odysseus, it's a metaphor for the challenges we all face in resisting what tempts us. Whether it's the allure of power, the pull of forbidden desires, or the distraction of fleeting pleasures, the story encourages us to reflect on our own battles with self-mastery. As we move forward, it's worth noting how mythology often uses such trials to explore the complexities of human character. The siren's story is just one example of how ancient tales delve into the struggle between desire and discipline, a theme that echoes across countless myths and continues to captivate us. The Battle of the Furies is one of the most gripping tales in Greek mythology, a story that pits divine justice against human morality. At its heart lies Orsts, a tragic hero caught in an impossible situation. After killing his mother Clytemnestra to avenge his father Agamemnon's murder, Orsts finds himself pursued by the Furies' ancient, relentless spirits of vengeance. These terrifying beings, with their serpent hair and blood-red eyes, represent the primal, unyielding force of retribution. But this isn't just a tale of gods and monsters. It's a profound exploration of justice, guilt, and the human condition. Orst's predicament raises a timeless question. What happens when one act of justice creates another injustice? By avenging his father, he becomes a murderer in his own right, and the Furies won't let him forget it. Their pursuit of Orsts isn't just about punishment, it's about restoring the natural order. In their eyes, blood must be repaid with blood. Yet, Orst's actions also spark a deeper debate about morality. Was his vengeance justified, or did it plunge him into the same cycle of violence he sought to end? This battle isn't fought with swords or shields, but in the courtroom of the gods, where Apollo defends Orsts and Athena presides as judge. The resolution of this conflict is as fascinating as the battle itself. When the Furies demand Orst's punishment, Athena steps in to mediate. She establishes a new form of justice, one ruled by reason rather than blind vengeance. The Furies, once symbols of wrath, are transformed into the Humanides, or kindly ones, guardians of a more balanced, civilized order. This shift reflects a pivotal moment in Greek thought, where the old ways of blood feuds gave way to the rule of law. It's a story that resonates deeply, reminding us of the delicate balance between justice and mercy, and how societies evolved to seek both. Culturally, the Battle of the Furies left an indelible mark. Ancient Greek playwrights like Aeschylus brought this story to life in his austere trilogy, using it to explore themes of justice, fate, and the human struggle for redemption. The tale also inspired countless works of art, from pottery depicting the Furies' terrifying forms to sculptures capturing the tension of Orst's trial. Even today, the story's themes echo in modern narratives about law, morality, and the cost of vengeance. What makes this battle so enduring is its ability to confront ethical complexities head-on. It doesn't offer easy answers, but instead invites us to grapple with the same questions Orsts faced. What does it mean to be just? When does vengeance cross the line into injustice? And how do we balance the demands of the past with the needs of the future? These are questions that transcend mythology, touching the very core of what it means to be human. As we reflect on the Battle of the Furies, we're reminded of how mythology often serves as a mirror, reflecting our deepest fears, desires, and dilemmas. These ancient stories aren't just relics of the past, they're timeless explorations of the human experience, offering insights that remain as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. In the heart of Greek mythology lies a lesser-known but profoundly symbolic tale, the Battle of the Nymphs. This legendary clash wasn't fought with swords or shields, but rather through the forces of nature itself. The nymphs, ethereal spirits of the forests, rivers, and mountains, found themselves at odds with those who sought to exploit the natural world. Their protectors, often gods or heroes, stood by their side, creating a conflict that was as much about ideals as it was about survival. At its core, this battle represents the timeless tension between nature and civilization. The nymphs, embodying the untamed beauty and power of the wild, stood as guardians of the earth's sacred spaces. On the other side were those who viewed nature as a resource to be conquered or controlled. This struggle mirrors humanity's own relationship with the environment, a theme that resonates even today. It's a reminder that the natural world isn't just a backdrop to human activity, but a living, breathing entity deserving of respect and protection. The cultural impact of this myth is undeniable. In ancient Greek art, nymphs were frequently depicted as graceful, ethereal figures, often surrounded by lush landscapes or flowing water. These depictions weren't just decorative, they were symbolic of the reverence the Greeks held for the natural world. Even in their literature, writers like Homer and Hesiod wove tales of nymphs into their epics, highlighting their importance as both protectors and personifications of nature's power. What makes this battle so compelling is its universality. It's not just a story from the past, it's a reflection of the ongoing dialogue between humanity and the environment. As we move forward, this ancient myth invites us to consider how we can find balance, ensuring that progress doesn't come at the cost of the world we inhabit. And with that in mind, we turn to the next chapter in our exploration of mythology, where the interplay between humanity and nature continues to shape the stories that define cultures across the ages. In the world of Greek mythology, few figures embody the spirit of unrestrained celebration and primal energy quite like the satyrs. These wild, half-human, half-goat creatures were the loyal companions of Dionysus, the god of wine, fertility, and ecstasy. But their story isn't just one of revelry, it's also one of chaos, conflict, and the raw duality of human nature. This brings us to the Battle of the Satyrs, a legendary clash that captures the essence of Dionysus's domain and the untamed forces he represents. The Battle of the Satyrs is a tale steeped in the themes of excess and abandon. According to ancient texts, this conflict erupted when Dionysus and his followers, including the satyrs, faced off against those who sought to suppress their wild celebrations. The satyrs, with their insatiable appetites for wine, music, and dance, became symbols of life's uncontrollable, chaotic side. The battle itself was less about traditional warfare and more about the clash between order and chaos, restraint and freedom. It was a vivid reminder that humanity thrives not just on discipline and structure, but also on the liberating power of letting go. This myth had a profound impact on Greek culture, particularly in art and literature. Satyrs became a popular subject in sculptures, vases, and mosaics, often depicted mid-revelry, their faces twisted in ecstatic joy or mischief. These portrayals weren't just decorative, they served as a commentary on the human condition. The Greeks understood that life was a balance between the rational and the irrational, the civilized and the wild. The satyrs, with their unbridled energy, embodied the side of existence that defied control, reminding people of the importance of embracing both aspects of their nature. Ancient texts such as the plays of Euripides also explored the satyrs' role in Dionysian festivals, where their antics were celebrated as part of rituals honoring the god. These festivals were more than just parties, they were sacred acts of communion with the divine, a way to connect with the primal forces that governed life and nature. The Battle of the Satyrs in this context wasn't just a mythic event, it was a metaphor for the eternal struggle between the forces of order and the pull of our wilder instincts. As we reflect on this myth, it's fascinating to see how the Greeks used stories like these to explore the complexities of human existence. The satyrs, with their dual nature, part human, part beast, remind us that life isn't meant to be lived in perfect harmony. Sometimes it's the chaos, the revelry, and the moments of abandon that make us feel most alive. And this celebration of the untamed, the wild, and the unpredictable is a thread that runs through countless myths, inviting us to embrace the fullness of what it means to be human. In the realm of Greek mythology, where gods and mortals often clashed, one of the most intriguing conflicts wasn't fought with swords or shields, but with the power of creativity itself. This was the Battle of the Muses, a legendary confrontation that pitted the 9 sister goddesses of the arts against their rivals, the Pleiades. Unlike the violent, earth-shaking battles of other myths, this clash was a contest of inspiration, poetry, and song. The Muses, daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, symbolized the divine spark behind all creative expression, and their victory in this battle wasn't just a triumph over their challengers, it was a testament to the enduring power of art. The story goes that the Pierides, bold and arrogant, dared to challenge the Muses to a contest, believing their own talents could rival those of the goddesses. What followed was a dazzling exchange of music, poetry, and storytelling. The Muses, of course, outshone their rivals with their unmatched skill and divine inspiration. But the true significance of this myth lies not in the outcome but in what it represents, the eternal struggle between true creativity and mere imitation. The Muses' victory wasn't just about proving their superiority. It was a celebration of the transformative power of art to elevate the human spirit and connect us to something greater. This battle had a profound impact on Greek culture, shaping how the ancient Greeks viewed the role of the artist. To them, creativity wasn't just a skill, it was a divine gift, a way to bridge the gap between mortals and the gods. The Muses became symbols of this sacred connection, inspiring poets, musicians, and thinkers to reach for excellence. Their influence can be seen in the works of Homer, whose epic poems were said to be divinely inspired, and in the countless sculptures and paintings that adorn temples and public spaces. Even today, the idea of a muse as a source of artistic inspiration traces its roots back to this ancient myth. But the Battle of the Muses isn't just a story about the past, it's a timeless reminder of the power of creativity to shape our world. Whether it's through music, writing, or visual art, the act of creation has the ability to transform not only the artist but everyone who experiences their work. This myth invites us to reflect on our own creative journeys and the ways in which art continues to inspire, challenge, and uplift us. As we move forward, we'll explore how mythology often celebrates the transformative power of creativity, not just as a force for individual expression but as a cornerstone of culture itself. The Muses' legacy reminds us that art isn't just a reflection of life, it's a way to transcend it. The Battle of the Fates is one of the most profound and thought-provoking conflicts in Greek mythology, centered around the Moirai, the three sisters who weave the threads of destiny for every mortal and god alike. Known as Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, these figures are far more than mere weavers. They are the architects of life and death, spinning, measuring, and cutting the threads that determine the course of existence. But what happens when their own tapestry of fate unravels? This legendary battle isn't just a clash of divine powers, it's a deep exploration of the tension between fate and free will, a theme that has fascinated humanity for millennia. In this myth, the Moirai are challenged by forces seeking to disrupt their control over destiny, sparking a cosmic struggle that reflects humanity's own wrestling with the idea of predestination. Can we truly shape our own lives, or are we bound by an unchangeable fate? The Moirai's battle isn't fought with swords or shields, but with the very fabric of time and existence, making it a uniquely philosophical conflict. It's a story that doesn't just ask questions, but forces us to confront the uncertainty of our own lives. The cultural impact of this myth is immense. In ancient Greek art, the Moirai are often depicted with their threads and shears, symbols of their unyielding authority over life and death. They appear in countless texts from Homer's epics to the works of Hesiod, always serving as a reminder of the delicate balance between human ambition and the limits imposed by fate. The Battle of the Fates, though less commonly illustrated than other myths, resonates deeply because it taps into a universal human experience, the struggle to reconcile our desire for control with the inevitability of forces beyond our understanding. This myth also raises timeless questions about the nature of choice. Are our decisions truly our own, or are they simply part of a larger, predetermined pattern? The Moirai's battle invites us to reflect on how much agency we have in shaping our lives, a question that continues to inspire debate in philosophy, literature, and even modern storytelling. From ancient Greece to today, the tension between destiny and choice remains a powerful narrative device, one that speaks to our deepest hopes and fears. As we reflect on the battle of the fates, it's clear that mythology often serves as a mirror, reflecting humanity's eternal struggle to understand the forces that shape our lives. The Moirai story is more than just a tale of divine conflict. It's a reminder that the questions we ask about fate and free will are as old as civilization itself. And just as the Moirai's threads weave the fabric of existence, these myths weave together the threads of our shared cultural heritage, connecting us to the past while challenging us to think about the future. The Battle of the Underworld stands as one of the most haunting and poignant tales in Greek mythology, a story that dives deep into the human experience of love, loss, and the relentless pursuit of what lies beyond. At its heart is Orpheus, the legendary musician whose melodies could charm even the gods. When his beloved Eurydice is tragically taken by a snake bite, Orpheus refuses to accept her death. Armed with nothing but his lyre and his unwavering love, he descends into the realm of Hades, the god of the underworld, to confront the forces of death itself and bring Eurydice back to the world of the living. This battle isn't one of swords or shields, but of willpower, devotion, and the power of art. As Orpheus crosses the river Styx and navigates the shadowy depths of the underworld, his music tames the ferocious three-headed Cerberus and soothes the restless spirits of the dead. When he finally stands before Hades and Persephone, his plea is simple yet profound. He asks for Eurydice's return, not out of defiance but out of love. The rulers of the underworld, moved by his sincerity, agree, but with one condition: Orpheus must not look back at Eurydice until they both reach the surface. It's a test of trust, faith, and the fragile boundary between life and death. The tragedy of Orpheus looking back, losing Eurydice forever, has echoed through centuries, symbolizing the inevitability of loss and the fleeting nature of second chances. This myth has left an indelible mark on Greek art, where scenes of Orpheus in the underworld adorn pottery, mosaics, and sculptures, capturing the tension between hope and despair. Ancient texts from the works of Ovid to Virgil have immortalized this story, exploring its themes of mortality, the human condition, and the limits of love. What makes this battle so enduring is its universal resonance. It's not just a tale of Greek mythology, it's a reflection of the hero's journey into the unknown, a metaphor for the struggles we all face when confronting grief, longing, and the mysteries of existence. The story of Orpheus and Hades reminds us that mythology often blurs the line between life and death, inviting us to ponder what lies beyond and how we navigate the spaces in between. The Battle of the Heavens stands as one of the most dramatic and symbolic conflicts in Greek mythology, a celestial showdown that pits the gods against their rivals in a struggle for ultimate supremacy. At its core, this battle is more than just a clash of divine forces. It's a profound exploration of power, rebellion, and the eternal tension between order and chaos. The story begins with the Titans, the primordial deities who ruled the cosmos before the Olympians. When Zeus, the youngest of his siblings, rises to challenge their authority, a war erupts that shakes the very foundations of the heavens. This isn't just a fight for control, it's a reflection of the human experience where ambition and the desire for power often collide with the established order. What makes this battle so compelling is its timeless relevance. The themes of rebellion and the overthrow of tyranny resonate deeply, not just in ancient Greece but across cultures and centuries. The Olympians, led by Zeus, represent a new order, one that seeks to replace the old ways with a more just and balanced rule. Yet, even in their victory, there's an undercurrent of tension, a reminder that power, once gained, must be wielded carefully. This duality is beautifully captured in Greek art, where the battle of the heavens is often depicted with vivid imagery of lightning, thunder, and cosmic upheaval. These artistic representations not only celebrate the gods' triumph, but also serve as cautionary tales about the consequences of unchecked ambition. Ancient texts, too, offer rich insights into this celestial conflict. Hesiod's Theogony, for instance, paints a vivid picture of the chaos and destruction that ensue as the gods and titans clash. The narrative is filled with symbolic imagery: mountains being hurled, seas boiling, and the heavens themselves trembling under the weight of divine fury. These accounts don't just tell a story, they invite us to reflect on the nature of power and the sacrifices required to maintain it. They remind us that even the gods are not immune to the temptations of ambition and the struggles that come with leadership. The cultural impact of the Battle of the Heavens extends far beyond its mythological roots. It has inspired countless works of art, literature, and even modern interpretations in film and television. This enduring legacy speaks to the universal truths embedded within the story, truths about the human condition, the allure of power, and the price of rebellion. As we reflect on this legendary conflict, it's impossible not to see parallels in our own world, where the struggle for supremacy continues to shape societies and individuals alike. As we reach the end of our journey through these 50 legendary battles, it's impossible not to marvel at how these ancient stories have shaped the world we live in today. From the epic clash of gods and titans in Greek mythology to the heroic struggles of warriors like Arjuna in the Mahabharata, these tales are more than just thrilling narratives. They are mirrors reflecting the timeless human experience. Themes of courage, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between good and evil echo across centuries, reminding us of the values and challenges that unite humanity, no matter the time or place. What's truly remarkable is how these battles have transcended their original contexts, weaving themselves into the fabric of art, literature, and even modern pop culture. Think about it, the Trojan War inspired everything from Homer's Iliad to Hollywood blockbusters, while the Norse myth of Ragnarok has found new life in comic books and video games. These stories endure because they speak to something universal: our collective yearning for meaning, heroism, and the triumph of hope over despair. But these battles aren't just relics of the past. They continue to resonate in our modern world, offering lessons and inspiration. Whether it's the resilience of figures like Beowulf or the moral dilemmas faced by characters like Rama in the Ramayana, these myths challenge us to reflect on our own lives and choices. They remind us that the struggles we face today, whether personal, societal, or global, are part of a much larger human story, one that has been told and retold for generations. So, what's your favorite mythological battle? Is it the dramatic showdown between Thor and the world serpent, or perhaps the tragic beauty of the Kurukshetra war? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which stories have left the biggest impact on you. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into mythology, don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the timeless tales that shape our world. Before we go, I'll leave you with this thought from Joseph Campbell, one of the greatest scholars of mythology. Myths are public dreams, dreams are private myths. These legendary battles, with all their grandeur and drama, are not just stories, they are the shared dreams of humanity, connecting us across time and culture. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I can't wait to continue uncovering the mysteries of mythology with you. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep the stories alive.